Alright, this is money problems for Leo. Some of you may have debt. You might have a little bit of debt. Maybe you have a debt up to your eyeballs. But as far as I'm concerned, a little advice never hurt. You don't have to take all my advice, but take what you need and leave the rest. All right. So the first question is going to be, what is the main cause of your financial issue? We have the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands in reverse is cruel and malicious stories, a plunder, the inability to make decisions, a harbinger of bad news. So uh, you might have a hard time finding a job. You might have kind of a bad reputation, or there's just malicious and cruel stories about you that you can't um, get over, and you kind of buy into that, or you get stressed out where you might be spending money in order to soothe yourself, or just spending money just because sometimes stress can do that to a person. But I do feel like there's some malicious stories about you that could be causing you stress where you spend a lot of money, in order to feel like the bigger person, or to feel better about self, or some other reason in general. Now, whatever the case is, for many of you, it is a point of jealousy, or it's a point of self soothing. With self soothing, you do have to get to the root of your problem so that you can control that. You can't always be doing that. You do have to face your problems head on sometimes, depending on what the issue is. Because if you don't, it gets out of control, and then there could be other things at play. Sorry, this is like 2 a.m. in the morning, and I'm doing tarot card readings. I haven't done this in a long time where I stayed up until 2 a.m. So, excuse me if I keep yawning. Um, but yeah, what is the querent, which would be you, needs to do in this case? We have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. The Ace of Pentacles, money without happiness, wealth, abused, corruption, and greed, becoming a Scrooge. So, if you do have money, you're probably very stingy with it. You're probably the head of the household. A lot of people that are Leos are head of the household. But you don't want to give anybody money because you know you won't get it back. You don't want to tell people how to get money because then they'll take your gig away. But it's kind of like your purse strings are tied up, and so is just any explanation is tied up as well. You kind of want to stay where you're at. You want your money to stay where it's at because you're not sure if you'll ever get more money. Which is an interesting fact. Okay, so number 3, we have obstacles. Obstacles is Knight of Pentacles. A Knight of Pentacles is academic tradition, a plotting scholar, the love of a new, stable, and loyal within boundaries do gooder. So you are kind of in the midst of being the bad guy, but there's other people that are just doing their own thing and probably having more fun with it, and you're just like, why can't I have fun with my money? But yeah, I just feel like it's an it's how you would be motivated by money. Some people, they like to shut down and just be to themselves when they have money. Other people, when they have money, they like to share it with other people. Um, so depending on your paranoia level, I know some people are like, oh, I have low paranoia levels, or I have high paranoia levels because of this, and this. it doesn't matter. However you feel about your money or your situation is how you're always going to feel about your situation of money. How you see somebody else handling their money and other people handling their money, that's entirely up to them. I myself am applying for another job. Why? Because I have three already. I'm trying to get a fourth one because I need a certain pair of shoes that they're going to have to custom make for me. It was by an artist, I think 1989, that used to make shoes. Um, and there's a certain design I want, that type of thing. But I love sneakers. There's something about them that are just amazing. Um, so I'm trying to get those shoes. But with your situation, I just feel like you see other people being carefree with their lifestyle. You wish you could be carefree, and it's just a difference of, oh, I'm not carefree enough to actually see what you're talking about, or I don't know what exactly to do in this situation. Okay, I feel like you came from a different generation, or you just feel differently about money and your situation in general. You might have grown up with certain stigmas in your family or a certain lack of something in your family that you wanted to solve, or you wanted to solve when you became able to work, and you finally figured that out, and now you're kind of stingy with your money. You're not sure what to do. Okay, whether you should spend it and then there would be more, or what exactly would go on. So number 4, we have influences working on behalf of the querent, which would be you. We have the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is the same as the upright meaning, which is last defined, and strong possibility of redemption. So you might I feel like you might have taken some money from some people, or might have used somebody in order to get money, and you don't feel 100% about your money situation. You might feel like somebody's trying to take advantage of you, other people are trying to take advantage of you because money, but I feel like it's guilt because you might have taken it under false pretenses. Which, that's a whole other can of worms. So if you feel bad about it, you should probably give the money back to the people that it's supposed to go to. Um, because to be honest with you, guilt has a way of creeping up on you when you're not doing the right thing. So just take that as you need it. If you took it from somebody, you need to give it back. If you got it under false pretenses, there's a way to resolve that fact. Okay, there's ways to resolve a lot of things. But if you are having problems with your money stuff, and maybe you're not like Scrooge McDuck, you might actually have to work on having a service plan that is a pay as you go plan, or having a plan of how to pay off debt. Most debt collectors do want to work with you as far as like getting a debt lowered or down, where they would come up with a payment plan for you that works. Okay. Um, some of the companies don't do that. Like I've never seen Apple try to lower a debt. I work in the banking industry, and there's more problems with Apple Pay than anything else. And now some places and stores don't take Apple Pay because there's so much issue with it. Okay, because it doesn't work for everybody. Um, so there's that as well. Um, but not all payment plans work for everybody. So you're gonna have to try to figure that one out with your creditors if you have any. Um, so number 5, who or what can help you help the querent? So there's The Four of Swords, everything fell down that too. So, a rest after a long period of adversity, sleep and dreaming in solitude, temporarily abandon a hemorrhage, sometimes a tumor, coffin signifying the ultimate rest. So, I feel like with all this, it's either you need to sleep, rest, or some other extreme that we're not going to talk about, but you know what I mean. Um, I feel like it's to that extreme for some of you that you did the wrong thing and you did stuff that doesn't really make a whole lot of logical sense as to how greedy you were in getting money, or maybe you're insolvent to the point of you could lose everything. Some people take it to the extremes of, just not being alive anymore. That's a bit cringy. I had to cringe at that, sorry. But yeah, it's nothing's that bad where you can't like talk to people about it. And if you have creditors, I would talk to your creditors to see if they can work out a payment plan with you. But this whole thing about like not paying your creditors or being so insolvent that you can't live, that's impossible to even fathom. Okay? You have to talk to people because they're people like you and me. You have to kind of communicate, don't you, with other human beings. This antisocial thing needs to stop. Like, if you have a problem or you need to come up with a payment plan, do that to get yourself solvent again. It may take a long time and you might have to work 4 jobs to achieve your goal, but I feel like you can do it. You don't have to commit suicide, okay? You just have to figure it out. You have to call these creditors, explain your dilemma, say that you overspent due to this, this, and this, and that you need to come up with a payment plan that'll work. You're going to have to make it as minimal as possible, the payments, and then as you gain momentum, pay larger amounts to get that right. But I don't feel like this is a time to be antisocial with your creditors. I would tell them what's going on. Okay, so the last card is going to be the outcome of all this. The outcome is going to be the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is pain that feels like a violent death, mental death, ruin, mental anguish, guilt that cannot be reconciled, trouble, or misfortune. So, like I said before, there's gonna be a point where it goes from one extreme to the next, or some people are in debt right now where they're insolvent. Whatever the case is, you're gonna be over dramatic about. You have to explain your dilemma to somebody. And if you have a therapist, that would be a good way to start. So then you can organize your thoughts and how you may think about it and how it may feel to somebody else. You need that second line of perception in your life. And I feel like some people might not be thinking about the other side of the coin. If you don't pay somebody for their service or their time or whatever have you, it becomes a problem, okay? And some things get out of control. But if you yourself are spending, trying to resolve your own mental issues of not feeling worthy of other people or trying to impress other people, you do have to work that out with yourself. Also, there is other things that come into play. There could be an expense that gets out of control that you weren't expecting. Okay? There's also a lot at stake. There's also a lot at stake in your personal life, too. So, some people could be going through a divorce. Some people could be losing an opportunity. Some people could be losing their jobs, homes, a lot of other things. So there's a lot of areas here that could be affected by losing money or going into extreme debt. So just try to focus on yourself and your debts and everything. You also have to explain yourself, take accountability for your actions sometimes. And if it is a lawsuit or something, it could actually help your situation if you're honest about your motive and strife on the situation. Um, it's always something that happens in life. Okay. So your imagery in this reading is going to be the key and a shine to it. So there's a door that you haven't been able to open yet. And an opportunity could come to you in order to resolve your issue, but it will take some work. I feel like for most Leos, they don't really work. They kind of fall into something that would work for them, or it's kind of like easy. But I do feel like the only way to resolve your issue would be actually to do work, which could be a little bit stressful for some Leos. But I feel like it's a good lesson to get into the practice of is actually working a 9 to 5 job and finding out what responsibility is and punctuality is. It could help in situations. It's just to build you into like more humble in situations where it could help you in resolving your insolvents. Okay. I hope I get the 4th job. I'm really excited. It's in a place where I used to work, so I'm like really excited to um get back into that job. So hopefully I get it. I'm hoping like during the new year I can get something like that. But if I don't get that job, I applied for another one that's similar, but I would like to get that job because it would be a lot of fun. So, anyway, Leo, hopefully everything works out. And if you do need to work a 9 to 5 job, it's not all bad. It's just mindless work. Like you're going to do the same mindless work every day. You might meet some new people, you might meet some not so nice people, but you're going to meet a lot of different things, especially if you work at Walmart. But there's there's a point in everybody's life where they have to work retail for whatever reason. And it's not the most exciting job, but it is a job nonetheless. Okay, so might be starting over and working from the bottom to the top. All right, so it's not a bad job. It's just it might be a point to resolve something else. All right, so anyway, Leo, take care of yourself, take care of everyone. I'll see you here in the next reading. All right, later.